What's up, people? What's happening? Today is Monday, November 6th. Coming at you from the basement, dude. Episode 14. We are in 7th or 8th grade. Fucking off. Just want to come down bullshit with you guys for a minute. I will tell you, though, I'm going to be pausing and coming back to this thing. I'm going to do some sets of bench and abs while I'm doing this today. Got up this morning and tried to get some in, just wasn't feeling it, a little tired. I got home from that buddy of mine's funeral I was telling you guys about last night, and the wife had, her name's Alicia, she had chicken spadini and beef spadini and some kind of fucking noodles or something. I just ate way too much, so I knew that I'd have a good energy today and have a good workout, but I ate too much because I was gone for a while with the funeral thing, and came home and was just starving. So I ate, which is all right with me because doing pretty good, dropping a little bit of weight and cutting up a little bit. So I gotta figure out. And yeah, you could just get on YouTube and look at this shit all day long, which I do, unfortunately, because I think it confuses me more than anything. But how to put on and keep muscle while maintaining some kind of low body fat. So I got my calories in yesterday for sure. I also and I got this new pre-workout from this dude. His name, you can check this dude out. If you're not a workout guy, you should definitely check him out. If you're a workout guy, he's I don't know. I get a kick out of him. His name's Seth Feroci. I think I might have mentioned him on here before. But if I haven't, he's like a Pennsylvania dude, former pro bodybuilder and all that. Now he's huge business guy, supplements and clothing and all that shit. But he's got a kind of a motto about being functional and fuckable. And I was talking with a buddy this weekend. If that is your kind of baseline goal as a male, I'd fuck that as a female too. Why not? Um, I think that's a pretty good baseline, right? You want to be functional, play with the kids, defend yourself, move around just as a human being. Shouldn't have problems like tying your shoes and cutting the grass and shit like that. So functional in that sense, and then fuckable. You want your partner, your wife or husband or whatever your partner is to find you attractive. I do anyway. So, and I know I guarantee most dudes do. Even if you don't want to be in the gym, or girls, even if you don't want to be in the gym, you still want to feel good when you put clothes on, all that other shit. So, if you are looking for somebody to kind of check out and get motivated, Seth Feroci, Axe and Sledge, I think is the name of his supplements, but really good like protein shakes and shit like that. So I'm kind of into some of that. I don't tend to be able to eat. They say you want a gram of protein per pound of body weight. I hover around like 165 to 175. I can go 5-10 pounds in a couple days if I start acting like an idiot or holidays or just get undisciplined. And then when I'm on my shit and pretty disciplined, I can get down pretty good. So, but I find it easier to drink fluids than I do eat food all the time. So I kind of fuck with protein shakes, and they say that like it's a waste of. I don't know. I don't know, but I like them because then I at least it keeps me full for longer, and then don't want to like snack and shit like that. So, but yeah, functional and fuckable. What's wrong with that? I think that's a good goal to stand for, or to shoot for. I don't see what's wrong with that. Speaking of being fuckable, my good buddy Pat, old Patty D from next door, he was on a podcast with us. Dude, won't you be my neighbor, bro? I forget what number it was, but we had fun on that one. Well, I don't even know. He didn't give me permission to talk about this. Anyway, a friend of his, a guy he knows, got a vasectomy, and I also got one a long time ago. speaking of being fuckable, when my twins were born, they were like 5 weeks early, but they came in both at over 5 pounds. So for twins, it's pretty healthy as far as weight goes and stuff like that. So got lucky on that one. But afterwards, so my oldest was 2, the twins were born, and so there were 3 kids like under 3 years old. Wasn't planning on the twins, obviously, so didn't need any more kids. So I called the VA and was like, "Hey, I'd like to get scheduled for a vasectomy." And they're like, "Well, why don't you come in for a consultation and we'll talk about it." And I said, "Well, what do we need to consult about?" I said, "Well, sometimes guys your age, I think I was 27. Sometimes guys your age, they kind of go into this procedure and they're not absolutely sure. Like, for instance, how many kids do you have?" And I told them what was going on with all the kids, and they were like, "All right, you can come in next Friday," or whatever they said, but they got me in pretty quick. So a vasectomy is a medical sterilization procedure for men who are sure they don't want future pregnancy. Yeah, so, but you can get it reversed, apparently. I don't know all about that stuff, but a vasectomy permanently blocks the tubes that carry sperm to the penis. Effectiveness is over 99%, apparently, with typical use. Availability, procedure takes place. But it's like you do like a weekend of taking it easy and then no more babies. So that was kind of cool. We were talking about that this weekend. I thought it was kind of funny to. And then there's like still dudes I know, they're listening, but they're like, "Man, fuck that." I'm like, "Dude, you've already got enough kids. It's not that big of a deal. It's easier for the man to get than it is for the woman to get her tubes tied and all that. Go for it." It's like when I did mine, that was one of the best things the government ever did for me. They put me to sleep. It was a whole procedure. They put me to sleep. I woke up and shit was done. I've had some buddies who have went into the doctor's office and like sitting on the table and they get the local and then like they burn the tubes or however they do it, but these dudes are awake during the whole thing. So it obviously can't be that bad if that many men are doing it while they're awake and not having any problems with it. So if you got too many kids or don't need any kids or don't want any kids, go get it fucking done. It's easy, it's cheap, it's like, and then you got to test it. So you gotta jerk it a few times and send in your samples, and then they tell you if you're good. And I guess, and it can always be reversed. And there's all kinds of kids that came around after vasectomies, but not for this guy. And we're gonna try to keep it that way. So go get your vasectomies, you freaks. You already got too many kids. We don't need any more. You are nasty anyway. But seriously, it's not that bad. They say you go on a Friday and you can go back to work on Monday. Now, I wouldn't go deadlifting or anything silly, picking up too much. There's a weight they don't want you to, a gallon of milk or something like that. So if you take it easy, it's not that bad. But that buddy of mine I'm talking about, he said everything's fine, a little discomfort and stuff, but it won't be that bad. All right, I'm gonna go do a set real quick. So anyway, I started to try this morning. I was trying to hit chest and just didn't have any good energy. So I got a couple things to talk about, not a whole lot, but I'm going to do some sets in between and then come back. So I got 135 on, kind of warm up, just get things moving, make sure I don't want to hurt myself. And then do some of that and we'll see, and then I'll be back. Stand by. All right, pretty good set. 135, 12 of those, get loosened up. I'm doing this thing lately instead of like just your standard sit-ups or squats or whatever. Got like a load-bearing pole next to my gym, my lifting mat down here. It's like 12 by 19 or 12 by 16 feet or something. Just kind of hold that behind my head, laying on the ground, and then just more leg raise, kind of bring your knees to your head type of thing. Apparently it just engages your core a little better. So I'm trying that, but otherwise, pretty good set. Um, I had to go out to the old neighborhood yesterday for that funeral. Uh, it was a trip going out there because, like, I know I've told you guys, I don't go out there. I don't have any reason to anymore. So, but this buddy of mine that died, he he was a member of a church out there. Matter of fact, another idiot buddy of mine, his dad is the pastor there, which is more of a trip because he and I were just wild motherfuckers. So, but anyway, just driving out there, and like I went past my high school, and when you go back home, all these memories start popping up, and just like so and so lives down that street, and it's like, you live there for so long, that buddy down there, this chick down there, this dude down there, the family down. So that was all. It was a little trip down memory lane. It was kind of cool. It was a lot like going back to for that play we went to, the Wedding Singer one. So it was kind of cool, that part, but then getting to the funeral obviously sucked. I don't know the cause of it or anything, so, and I don't even really think that matters. It's over. But I did get to see some really good friends from back in the day. None of my party type friends. So it was like it was refreshing, and everybody's doing really well, and just to kind of check in with people and see how everybody's doing. If you're not on social media, you don't get that opportunity a lot. So it was kind of cool, but I had to shake my buddy's, I don't know, I think he's 14 or 15, son's hand, tell him, like, sorry for your loss and stuff. I mean, what do you say? What do you say to a young man who just lost, like, definitely his best friend, right? Because by all accounts, and I don't doubt this in any way, shape, or form, my buddy was a really good dad and husband and everything else, and it's just a drag, man. And I think that speaks about how strong mental health is, right? Like, if you know what you have here on this earth, meaning your family and all the positive things you have, but then there's still just this other demon that you're quietly, like, internally fighting for probably a long time, usually, right? You wouldn't think that a dude or a person would they'd get upset about something, and like on a Friday and then on a Sunday commit suicide, right? It would have to be something that just like a lingering problem, depression and stuff like that. And I know that it's got to be tough on that family. It's a real fucking bummer, man. It's a real bummer. Wish stuff like that wouldn't happen, but it's going to. It's going to, no matter what. And I know that, I think I talked about this, the word selfish gets thrown around, and there's a lot of it that is fucking selfish because somebody at the service yesterday they brought up something about the pieces of your life, and it's like a puzzle, and you put them all back together. Well, when you leave, those pieces, you no longer have to worry about, right? So it's everybody else. And, the kids need us. They need to learn how to shave and how to, cut the grass and take care of the sink when it clogs up, or the stopper quits working, or all that other stuff. And even if you don't know how to do it, like a lot of shit I don't know how to do, I'd rather like figure it out with my son or daughter than not, obviously. So you just got to get help. But I know this buddy of mine, he was seeing his pastor, Mr. Browse. He was seeing him for like therapy for a long time, and you just never know, man. It was a real drag. And then, like, again, it's more of a drag for his son, like the kids, the younger people, and the wife, of course, like, and parents and aunts and uncles and everything, family, friends. Uh, just a real bummer, and it's so final. That saying about how suicide is a permanent solution to a temporary problem, and that is pretty true. So we gotta, I don't know what we gotta do, because it feels like he was getting at least counseling for mental health. And, obviously sometimes nothing works. And that's the only route that people know or feel like they should take. I don't know. It's a rough one. Let's get off of that. I feel like we were on that last time. Rest easy, old buddy, and all that good shit. And we'll sign off, and that'll be the end of that. I can't keep too much of that in my head for too long. Not that I shouldn't remember people, and not that I don't. But dwelling on things for too long gets a hold on me. I'm way too in my head to be battling with something like that, like emotionally all day long. So I try to move on to positive stuff. And I got a call today. I got an email today after my failed attempt at a workout this morning and then subsequent nap time. I got to go back to work tonight. So I like taking naps anyways, but on my night shift days, I like to take a nap for sure because we're going to be busy, I can tell. Got an email, and one of the old boys up at the museum, we talked, I think, at 4th of July. And he was telling me how they do a thing around here where you are interviewed by high school kids, students, and they do your interview, they videotape it and transcribe it, and whatever their whole process is. And then they submit it to the Library of Congress, which is pretty cool. Why I know 500 people whose story should go into the Library of Congress way before mine. My military career was very short. I guess there was a lot packed into it, but as far as it goes, I know some real fucking Marines and some real war fighters and some real heroes and stuff like that. It's just that I wanted to, again, donate my stuff to this awesome place so maybe some kids could learn from it and some history and represent my generation, represent my Marine Corps, all that stuff. So that was the part of this. It was never about, listen to my war stories because frankly, I don't really have much as far as like compared to so many people. So I know that's not healthy to do, but it is what it is. So these kids, these students do the interview thing, and then they have to submit everything. And if it goes through, and if, they're apparently there's I's to dot and T's to cross and stuff like that. The Library of Congress wants to make sure it's all done correctly, and if it doesn't get returned, and apparently it takes a while to submit, but I'm all in. So I got this email and called another volunteer up at the museum back to set up kind of scheduling, and was just talking for a few. And some of the kids are really interested in going into the military, so they're pumped to talk to people and get advice and stuff like that. And frankly, I'm on the younger side of the museum as far as people go, veterans go. So I think maybe my outlook on it and how things are going. I know that was 20 years ago, but I think things are pretty much the same. So hopefully I can help one of these young men or women make a good decision and something that they're not going to regret, and make a positive change in the world and everything. So I got that set up. Well, I'm gonna get contacted back to make sure I got to go in and do that, but that's something I'm totally into, helping young people out in any way, shape, or form. And So yeah, I don't know. I don't know when it's going to take place, but I think that all sounds like fun. So set two, here we go. Well, today's not going to be a heavy day. At 155 on, did 10 of those fine, but Friday, the wife and I had a really good workout. And then we did a run. Anyway, what I'm trying to say is I think I'm a little tired or just being a big fat pussy. So I'm going to keep going, but um, might not be able to get up to the 225 mark or anything today, which is all right with me. Again, just moving and doing something, try to do something every day. It's got to be better than nothing, right? And then today it's 78 or something in St. Louis, which is crazy for November 6th. Well, it's not that crazy lately, but so I don't know. Maybe after this I'll go for a little run just to be outside. Speaking of being outside, old buddy Captain called me the other day and was going out to his deer property where he's hunting deer at this year. Deer camp was what I was looking for. Out at his father-in-law's place. Got a bunch of acres and it's beautiful part of Missouri. Is fucking awesome. And I don't think he needed help so much. Well, I guess it kind of turned out that he did because it was kind of a bitch, but just knows that I like being outside and all that stuff. These country ass people crack me up, man, because they know so much about a world that I don't come from. So I'm always learning different trees, and it seems silly, I guess, to some people, but I love it. So we went out there, and what the fuck did we? Oh, we moved the one deer stand. And it was a trip because he was like, climb up. I'd never been up in a deer stand before, like up in a tree. For those who don't even know what that is, there's somebody out there that probably knows less about this shit than I do. But so a deer stand, a tree climber, you set it up against a tree. There's a couple different kinds I learned, but this one in particular, he already had it on one tree, so we were just moving it. But you set it up against a tree, and you got to climb up and ratchet it around the tree and shit, and it's all wonky and wanting to roll on you and shit. So, but it was a lot of fun. We were checking cameras, and I think we got him set up in a pretty good spot. So hopefully he does good this year and pays me back with some sausage for all my hard work. But we were out there all day, and it was beautiful. 8 or something. It was an awesome day out in the woods. We got to sight in a couple rifles, and I brought some of my toys, and we played with those, and not toys. Sorry to the politically correct world, but if you know how to operate them, they can be a lot of fun. It doesn't have to be negative. So we got to do a little bit of shooting and move around the woods, saw some deer. There was they were fawns, baby deer and or young deer, and they were just kind of walking around out in like the common area. I walked over to one just to see how close I could get, and I don't know, 30, 50 feet away, and he was just kind of eating and chilling and looking at me and not all that worried about it. And again, I just don't get to see that a whole lot, so I get a kick out of it. But opening day is Saturday, so hopefully they get beat the fuck up, and we need it. Alicia and I had some friends who did like an Airbnb thing for the weekend, not far from here. And it's this big private community thing. And so we were driving down there, and again, there's just fucking deer everywhere. And the weather was perfect and all that stuff. So, like, they're going to be out when you're out in the country. But Alicia and I were just kind of talking about it. And, we were driving home at night. And even during the day, they were just right next to the road because this is a place where there's obviously no hunting. So they're just domestic and docile as can be. And we were just kind of talking about that. And it's like, it's so necessary because you got to keep the population down a little bit, right? Probably a lot of it in some places, but yeah, it's a whole fascinating thing. And I think it's good. I hope I can get the kids into it someday, but it's kind of tough to do without property. You know, you can't just, well, there's public land, but that's for all. I don't know. It seems crazy to me. But overall, just being outside with a buddy for the day and just kind of moving around in the woods, it's good for me once in a while to get out there. I just took Echo down to the, where the fuck's he? Oh, that's why you can't hear him today. Because I took him down and we ran like a motherfucker down in the woods. So he's up there taking a nap with his mama, I'll bet you. But yeah, I just like being outdoors. I need some property. I got some property they want to give me. But I just think that you own a house and you own your car maybe and all that other shit, but owning a piece of property to call your own is kind of, I think that's when you've done something to me. Like if I ever would be able to get some property, but from what I hear, it's pretty expensive these days. So, how much can you do at once? The sports never quit. The oldest is starting her on the competitive team. We had to get her into kind of a fundamental program. We missed the one cutoff date, which is my bad. And then, lacrosse is going and soccer's still going and staying busy. So I'm not sure how I can afford a big piece of property, but if all these other people can do it, I'm sure there's a way. So we'll see. Another good set. Feeling good about that one. So maybe I will go up a little bit. We'll see. But I don't have a whole lot going on, man. The 9th is my mom's day. The 10th is Marine Corps birthday. 11th is Veterans Day. So I got some stuff planned up for that. I'm doing a little bit of research on some things this week. These couple night shifts. Get that all put together. And then probably going to bang out a couple days in a row just for those occasions. So that's what I got going on. Go up to the kids' school. Do the Veterans Day thing up there. And it should be fun. So I'm going to finish up this workout and hit a run and get dinner and everything going for work tonight. So you guys be good, be nice, do something good for somebody else, and it'll make the world a better place, believe it or not. So, all right, man, be cool. I'll talk to you guys later.